Those are the three noises that I heard.
New man.
Hot town, summer in the city. Back of my neck getting dirty and bitty. Up and down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around, people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk, hotter than a match.
Okay, so we have a highly demanded, special, extra special guest.
The heat.
Chung.
This took way too long. I've been waiting to have you on here since now.
Oh, really?
Chung the Heat. Chung the Heat is finally fucking here.
Yo, what's up?
Okay, we have a very important story to tell.
Chung Daddy.
Oh, Dewey.
We've made some insensitive remarks and some insensitive jokes about being gay or retarded or a midget or whatever.
Said a lot of names on this.
And puppies. And one of the sticking points is, and the thought I keep coming back to is your very important life lesson of you don't know you're straight until you try being gay.
Yeah.
But wait, first and foremost, I need to explain the Chung the Heat nickname because this holds a special place in my heart, right?
Yeah, hopefully you remember it correctly.
So we started first year, we're in the same program. We started the first year in radio, and we had an assignment where we were a host or you were doing production or whatever the fuck you were doing. Anyway, you had to record you reading lines, and we had examples from previous students to work off of. And the example you had said, "Hello, I'm blank, the Heat." So what you were supposed to write down was, "Hello, I'm Chung, and you're listening to, or you're tuned in live to, or something, the Heat." But what this fucking gem does is he just prints it off, copy and paste, prints it off, and writes Chung. So it just says, "Hello, I'm Chung, the Heat." And it was
That's awesome.
For some reason, it was just so fucking funny to me. So he's been Chung the Heat ever since.
Fucking legend.
It's funny though. I'm not the only one that did that.
Probably not.
Levi said that he did that too. The exact same thing.
I will fight Levi.
Levi the Heat.
Fist.
I'm more than jeans. I'm the Heat.
I'm a cunt hair away from trademarking it or registering it like the Ohio State or Taco Tuesday or whatever Chung the Heat's gonna be up there. I will fight Levi.
Amazing. All right.
No, he tried to.
Really? I thought
LeBron tried.
LeBron
tried to trademark Taco Tuesday. We went over that. Check it out in the pod. Anyway, Chung the Heat. Do you want to share your story? Give it. Tell everything.
How did you
Start-
know?
Give as
how
much
did you know you
context
weren't a
as you
fan of
need.
Over the Rainbow.
All right. So, let's see. So, I think I was 19 around the time, and a lot of my relationships with girls were not that great. So I'm like, what happens if I try to go the other way?
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. You got to start at the start. Like, how do we even get into this situation?
Oh, okay. So that's even funnier. It was around September of 2019.
It was like the second week of fucking school.
Yeah. And
most of us hadn't even met yet.
Yeah, like we were like
So we
were very new to each other. And the way that I have conversations, new or old people, people that I've already known, people I just met, I talk to everyone almost the exact same way. And at this point, I think we've all known each other for about 2 weeks. We were talking about one of the most heaviest topics, which is whether or not if you're a left wing or right wing. And we were talking about left wings or something about being left wing.
It started with geography, and then it was like Doug Ford, and then we got into left wing, right wing. And
Then we got
Talking
into
about Japan really makes you want to talk about Doug Ford right after. Or you want a dick in the ass. That's
Here we go.
That's
Anyway, continue.
Here we
almost
go.
exactly how it happened. I don't know. My thought process is kind of like a web, like a. I don't know how you guys. I don't know how to better describe that, but
Everything's attached.
yeah,
Kind of thing.
yeah. So it starts off from one idea and then it branches off to
Okay. Yeah.
more.
I got you.
And eventually I got to the point where I'm like, oh, I had a gay experience, but I didn't think that in my head. I said that out loud. And the first person to actually go was Mark, who his face almost got red, but it didn't get there yet. So I had to explain. and this is how it went from that point forth. So yeah, a lot of my relationships with females were not that great. So I tried thinking or saying to myself, telling myself, what if I tried it the other way? So, and by the other way, I mean get stuck. So my friend who had recently just came out as being gay was very open to telling me.
Hold up. What is the term "get stuck"?
Oh, get stuck.
Yeah, that's a
okay,
good question.
so I
Valid
don't
question.
know if that's a generational thing.
Is
but,
that coming close to like got milk or
Dig
some
down,
shit?
dig down.
Get stuck to me, in the context that I use it, is just fucking. Oh, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Fucking
awesome.
Podcast.
Awesome.
Come on, man. You know where the
Yeah.
fuck
There's
you
no
at.
rules
use-
here. Am I allowed to say fucking?
Yeah. No, I mean, like, sometimes I don't know rules, so I just say whatever comes to my, like,
That's the way we like it here.
awesome. All right.
No filters.
That's nice. I need to get on here a lot more often.
You need to get stuck a lot more. All right.
Yeah, I tried, and that's. Oh, so yeah, my friend who recently just came out as gay was like very open, saying, "I'm willing to stick you if that's what you want," and I'm like, "Yes," because I don't know, and
It's killing you to find out.
yeah,
Mm.
not killing me. I was just like, I don't know if girls were like the right thing for me at the time. And like I got along better with guys anyway. So I'm like, maybe like I'm just a closet gay and I didn't know it. So we go back to his place. He gets undressed. I'm like, oh, so we're getting straight into it, no foreplay or anything. So I get undressed, and instead of doing the blowjob, because I figured like anyone can do that, even if you're straight or not, anyone can do a blowjob. So I'm like, I turn around and say, maybe you should try and just like, shove it in there. So
Stick it.
I get into doggy and
Lube?
nope.
Fuck.
Hey, you fucking dog.
So I get into doggy and like he comes really close. Let's see if I can. So like, that's I think you call it the sphincter or asshole.
Okay.
This is his dick.
Come on. It is alive.
The moment it like touched it, I felt it like 1 millimeter. I flew across the room. I just said fuck, and I just like got up. I jumped across the bed, and I almost hit the other side of the wall.
So
of his
like
room.
it didn't go in or anything. It just like
No,
touched the
like-
booty hole, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Hey."
I'm like no,
poke the
like
bear.
I'm like
Poke it.
no, absolutely not. Like I'm 100% straight from that
He
point
just
forward.
he's just like, yes, I knew it. I knew it.
I mean, like you could just be a top instead, and not like a dick in your ass. Like
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe just power bottom isn't for you.
power top is
maybe
pretty hard.
you pitch. You're a starting pitcher. Maybe you don't like catching.
Maybe, but it's like
just
if you know you're not, if you have to think about it, then you're definitely not, right?
Right,
So I'm like, I have to try it. You can't be gay and not get stuck.
Got
That
it.
was my mentality back then. So I tried it, and I'm like, no.
Hey man, kudos for you for trying it.
Hey man, I'm telling you right
That's-
now, when we're talking about politics and shit like that, and he comes out with
That's the
this,
funniest part.
I was fucking a cunt hair away from life support. I swear to God, it's fucking hyperventilating. It was one of the funniest things. Just outrageous. We had two Muslim dudes sitting in the fucking circle with us, just not knowing like
What to
had
do.
to leave to go fucking pray.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Could not deal with this shit.
No, like I had to try and finish that story 3 different times because Mark just could not stop laughing. Like I got to the point where I did this, and he just broke down.
Wait, Hung,
Like,
what
he
did you do?
couldn't-
I didn't see that.
This. That story that I went through is almost word for word how I do it, and the action and motion is almost how I do it. So I went like this, and Mark just like his face gets red, he collapses, he falls off his chair like 3 different times. And like it took me
Fucking guy.
15 minutes to try and finish telling that story.
Did it take you 15 minutes to finish in general, or?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
See what you did there.
It took me 15 minutes to try
Gay
and work.
bars.
It took me 15 minutes to try and work up to do not 15 minutes. I tried
Yeah.
to like go from 0 to 100 in like 3 minutes.
Walking in questionable.
leaving
Yeah.
with a dick poking your butt.
Yeah. And
What'd you do when you found out? You're like, was it a relief? Was it like, that was fucking weird? What was it like? Too real?
I'm just
You
gay.
just get
I'm
too
just
real?
not gay.
Yeah, okay.
Do you still think about it? Pause. No hetero.
it? A little bit. I still think about it a little bit. I'm like, what happened if I let him try to go all the way in, or even like a centimeter in or an inch in?
Well, maybe hemorrhoids at some point.
Well, apparently
things aren't really supposed to be going.
Apparently
in.
straight guys like getting pegged, so that's what I've heard in the Tinder
You ever
field.
play the Beyblades, huh?
Yeah, yeah, I have actually. No lie.
Okay.
Beats.
That was a reference to our old episode. That's a reference to our last episode when Opie dropped some
Ope had an
weird
amazing
shit
story
on us.
about beads and how somebody got a bunch of beads put in them and the chick ripped them out like a Beyblade.
He was like
It's
shitting,
Oh.
coming and pissing all
Yeah.
over the place, puking. Did that happen to you, Hung?
No,
No, it didn't happen.
no, that'd be scary if it did, because I don't think I'd stop shitting if I did.
It'd be probably gnarly.
Well, I mean, he said it was like the best but worst nut he's ever had in his life. So
Oh, it happened right as he nutted?
he nut,
Timing.
shit, and puked all at the same time.
Timing.
It was the holy trinity of bodily fluids.
Triple crown. That's wild.
That hurts. I'd imagine like anal beads like getting ripped out like that is just like a sludge of shit just coming out of your ass.
No, dude, it's Beyblades.
So I have a story kind of like Hung's, but in my case, I did not go anywhere near the extremes you did
no pegging, no
to
blade
figure
blade,
this shit
no
out. No, so I've been, as far as I've known, straight my whole life. But when I was 20, I don't know, a few years ago, I was with a group of friends, and I happen to have a highly intelligent group of friends. I'm lucky to have that, so I take everything they say kind of at face value. Now, this is the story about how I thought I was turning gay, okay, or going to turn gay. So, we're at lunch. I'm not having the best time. I think I might have dropped out of school. And first time I'm seeing them in a long time. And my friend, we're going to call him Polo for this podcast. Polo told us a story about when
I
he
think
was...
I know who that is.
Of course you know who it is. So Polo tells us a story of when he was in university, how this girl he knew, the stress and anxiety from school made her turn gay.
I told you already, I have an exam tomorrow. Can you understand that? I have a goddamn veterinary exam.
And me and the other guy, we'll call him Jack with a G, looked at each other and said, I don't think that's how it works, man. And he's like, you don't know the whole story. You don't know the whole story. So I said, I don't think that's how it works. But internally, I was like, man, I'm stressed. I have anxiety. I hope that doesn't happen to me. So next thing, a month and a half later, I get surgery on my abdomen and I'm bedridden for 4 to 6 weeks, right? Can't do anything. Just idle mind, going crazy. And I happened to live with a gay roommate at the time. And him and his boyfriend were over. And the gays, I don't know how to say this, they're not always the most respectful. I think that's fair to say. So they're going at it right next to me in the room next door. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So they're going at it. And I can only imagine what is happening is gay sex. And I say gay sex because you are not prepared for the noises that are going to arise from a bedroom when
No, the two gay guys having hetero sex.
when two grown men are going at it. I want you to picture these noises. It sounded like I was surrounded by a bunch of like trucks with hydraulics, a marching band in which their only instrument was slapping Lizzo's thighs with cold cuts, all while one guy periodically clears his throat. Those are the three noises that I heard.
New man on the Minnesota Vikings.
Honestly. So, he's dying. So out of these noises, although it's really, out of these, I'm not trying to make this is a true story. So out of these noises, although it's hard to decipher which one, caused me to have a flashback to when I was like 9 and did some questionably gay shit. Now, before your minds run wild, probably me kissing Hung on the cheek right now would be considered gayer than what I actually did.
But do it for the podcast.
No, I'm not going to do it.
No.
But the problem is, I didn't remember this memory. I clearly blocked this fucking memory out. So I had a full-fledged panic attack when I remembered it because it was so vivid. And now I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm laying in bed, just had surgery, I'm stressed, I just dropped out of school, I just had this memory, and I'm listening next door to the Box Spring Boys literally defy physics. I think everything Polo said is coming true. So I literally thought I was slowly turning gay just after having this one flashback. So this kind of goes on for months, and I'm at the point where I'm like checking out dudes. I'm like, could I fuck this guy? Could I let this guy fuck me? And let me tell you something, I'm one picky gay guy. No guy was good enough. Brad Pitt squints too much. Matthew McConaughey, I don't like his accent. No guy was fucking good enough for me. So I never was sexually attracted to any dude. But my problem was I'm like, I don't have a type. If I'm going to be gay soon, I'm going to need a type. So never in my life have I not had a type. Pam Anderson, Topanga Lawrence, Megan Good. And those are all types.
Pam Anderson?
She was alright. She was like my first one. Wasn't she everyone's first one?
As soon as Tom
kinda hot,
got
right?
in there, I just ruined it.
She looks like a Gucci handbag.
So anyway,
Fuck outta here.
I've left one minor detail out of the story. I had a girlfriend this entire time.
Oh.
So, and the conversation about this went exactly how you think it went. I worked up the courage. I sat her down one day. I'm like, listen, I gotta tell you something. And she's like, oh my God, are you cheating on me? I was like, what? Cheating? No, I'm turning gay.
Thinking about it.
I'm turning gay. And she's like, what do you mean you're turning gay? I'm like, apparently, so I told her, like, with the flashback and the stress, apparently you can just turn gay, and I think it's happening. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, Polo said this girl just kind of, from all the stress, just kind of turned gay, and that's kind of how it works. And he went to a pretty prestigious school, so I take what he says seriously. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Are you bi? And I was like, had to think about it, and I was like, I don't think so. I think the way he described it is you just turn gay. And she's like, I don't get what you're saying right now. And I'm like, all right, how can I put this in a way you'd understand? You know in Twilight when Bella gets bit by the vampire and she's slowly turning gay, or turning into a vampire? And she's and she's slowly turning into a vampire. I'm like, it's kind of like that. She's like, oh my God, you watch Twilight? You really are gay, aren't you? And I was like, I guess so.
Vampires are gay, the frogs are gay.
So I'm like,
gay.
I'm not gay yet. Like right now I think you're pretty hot, but apparently one day soon I'm not.
There you go, that's your type.
And she's like, that's the most disrespectful thing anyone's ever said to me. And I was like, well, us gays are a pretty disrespectful bunch. Anyway, we break up. Then I'm still confused. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I call a psychologist who's a friend of the family and just happens to be gay. Perfect guy to talk to in this situation. So I call him up. I'm like, hey man, tell the others like it's happening. I'm fucking switching teams. He goes,
sage gay advice.
he goes, pardon? I'm like, hey man, I'm switching teams. I got a lot of questions. Like for one, do you shave your asshole? I feel like if I'm gonna have guys poking around back there, I gotta shave my asshole. He's like, Dylan, what the fuck are you talking about? So I tell him everything I just told you guys here on the podcast. I tell him everything. And he's like, dude, kids do weird shit all the time. Like, that doesn't mean you're gay. And I was like, what about what Polo said? He went to a pretty prestigious school. He's like, that's not how it works, man. Tell Polo he's pretty fucking retarded. So I'm like, all right. Anyway, I still didn't believe him. I'm like, Polo will have my back. So I go to Polo, and I'm like, I tell him everything. Because at this point, only my girlfriend knew, or ex-girlfriend, and the psychologist knew. No one else knew this was going on in my head. And this went on for like a good year of just me pondering these thoughts. So I go back to Polo, I tell him everything. And verbatim, he says this. He goes, yeah, I don't even remember that happening, man. I think I dreamt that. I was like, you fucking what now? You dreamt that? He's like, yeah, like I don't remember a girl actually turning gay. Like I don't think that happened. And I was like, do you know what the fuck I've been through over this shit? He's like, yeah, man, you just told me. It sounds like a pretty bad year. I was like, yeah, it was. And then he's like, all right, well, you want to watch Twilight? And that was it. The Twilight part I added in, okay? That didn't happen. But everything else literally happened.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm starting to figure out why you were such a pathological liar as a kid, because all your friends are just steering you in the wrong direction with their fucking story. Oh
Yeah.
no, I dreamt that. No,
So I was in like such a bad place, like career-wise, like emotionally, like physically. I couldn't do anything, couldn't work out, and I think just being alone for that long just made my mind go fucking nuts. The idle mind is the devil's playground.
Oh,
But
okay.
I thought I was turning gay slowly. What are your
Okay,
thoughts
you
on
really
that?
love Lucy?
I was
Holy fuck. I'm gay.
Oh, Ricky is so not gay. But did Corey and Trevor tell you that?
gonna say, the first thing that your girlfriend didn't try was sex.
What do you mean?
Like
Putting
when
her
you,
strap on in you.
Yeah,
Oh
when you,
yeah, no,
When you told her, it's like
no. But she like honestly, she took it like well. I would say like we didn't break up then. We broke up months later, kind of thing, and it was about unrelated shit. But yeah, that it fucking happened. What do you guys think? You guys are quiet as fuck over there.
I mean, we're just letting you live your fucking truth.
Woo!
Yeah. Hey,
I can't hear you. Cut the mic
I
off.
didn't
all
get
homo to you, man.
Yeah,
All homo to me.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't. I commend Hung for doing what he did because that's fucking.
yeah, because I went all the way.
I did not have to go that far to figure out. Hey, I'm not. Yeah, the only thing I left out was the
Hung,
psychology.
you didn't go all the
Yeah,
way.
just a tip. Huh?
I tried.
Just a tip.
I tried
Just for a
going all the
second.
way.
So the psychologist just said he summed it up in one thing. He's like, "Are you sexually attracted to men?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Then why are you talking to me right?" I was like, "Okay, cool."
Oh, I wasn't sexually attracted to men.
That's the only thing you gotta ask yourself.
It's a hamstring. Hotel.
Yeah.
Even in the office when the show that one of the Andy or someone thinks they're turning gay.
I think it moved.
Like this happens in the show too.
Yeah.
And
Dude, it sounds like
and he's like, and
turning gay
Oscar's
sounds
like,
you
are
got fucking corona.
Oscar's like,
Yo, I'm turning gay, man. What's
I
happening?
know,
All
I
of
know.
a sudden, leather's growing on my legs.
What am I gonna do? How am I gonna tell my parents?
anyway, I was
I guess that's
confused.
a real.
I've always heard
That's a
about
real
like
thing gay
being
people deal with.
confused
Sorry.
in like movies and shit, but I didn't know it was a thing. But it happened. It was wild.
Yeah, for me, I'm just a practical guy. Like I have to experiment with it. I have to do it.
That's just you.
It's for science.
It's for science. He
for
did it for
science.
science, guys.
I did it for science.
Just
I did
a
it for
tip.
science more than myself.